Hello, everyone. This is Brian Walford with Hot Drink. I've been asked to make a first aid kit video, and I'm making this video mainly about a group first aid kit for 8 people for 8 days on a trip to the Canadian border canoeing to the Boundary Waters Canoe Area Wilderness. Most big commercial first aid kits cost $100 to $150, and so I'm going to put my first aid kit in one of these Marmot carry bags. There's plastic and have a big old zipper around it. Looks like a great big shaving kit, basically. And I'm going to put everything in the first aid kit in plastic Ziploc bags, and then put it down in there kind of in categories. First group of things I want to talk about is bandaging materials. I have steri strips to close wounds, half a dozen 4x4 inch gauze pads as sterile dressing for wounds, 3x3 inch gauze pads, and 2x2 inch gauze pads, 2 mini pads, 2 tampons. I have a big roll of Kerlix gauze back here, 4.5 inches by 3 yards, an ace bandage with several large safety pins, and some 70% isopropyl alcohol in a small bottle. I've got some triple antibiotic ointment, 4 pairs of exam gloves, 9 iodide swabs, 8 alcohol swabs, half a dozen knee or elbow bandages with like giant band-aids, 2 dozen band-aids, and to go along with my bandaging material, I have different varieties of tape. Flat duct tape, small rolls of duct tape, about a half a roll of standard first aid tape, and then 7 5x8 inch panels of flat tape that is better and more appropriate for wound dressing than even duct tape. I also have some transparent film to go over an abrasion or a scrape that tapes to the wound or over a bandage. Some criteria for evacuations, a couple of pencils, moleskin, and then I move up to the medication section of the kit. I have 44 81 milligram low-dose aspirin, 20 Tylenol, 30 ibuprofen, 10 naproxen sodium, 15 Benadryl capsules, pink and white Benadryl capsules for allergic reactions, allergies, runny nose, 12 antidiarrheal medicines like Imodium, generic Imodium, and a pair of scissors, bandage scissors, sometimes called EMT shears. I'm going to wrap these EMT shears in a bandana so the tips of the shears don't cut through my plastic bags. And I've got some paper for note taking so I can take notes on any injury, accident, or illness, like a soap note. I'm going to put them in Ziploc bags and double bag them, and then put them in my big first aid kit container. At that point, I may put the first aid kit down in a dry bag and drop it down in my day pack for the first 2 or 3 days of the 8-day trip. After 2 or 3 days, the group will eat the food packed down and probably put the first aid kit in the top of the food pack. Now keep in mind this is a large group first aid kit for 8 people for 8 days on a canoe trip in the wilderness. So I'm carrying a few extra items that I wouldn't carry on an 8-day backpacking trip for 8 people. Now, if I were going to take any other trip, I would custom that first aid kit for the trip exactly. Like, for instance, if a long weekend backpacking trip in the southeast on the Appalachian Trail for 4 days for 4 to 7 people, I could easily cut this kit in half, put it in a Ziploc bag. It wouldn't even fill a gallon Ziploc bag. It would probably fill half of a gallon Ziploc bag. I would then double bag it and not use this big red kit. I'd just fold up the Ziploc bag, drop it down to half, and put it in the top of my backpack. Now, if I was gonna go on a solo trip or just an overnight 2-person trip, I would cut this first aid kit down to an even smaller size. Probably carrying 9 Tylenol, 2 3x3 gauze pads, 2 mini pads, half roll first aid tape, a couple of 2x2 gauze pads, a lighter, a bigger Band-Aid, 14 regular size Band-Aids, a packet of antibacterial ointment, and maybe 8 Aleve. And I would probably carry that in a plastic, waterproof peanut butter jar. And it would weigh maybe 7 ounces, be completely waterproof without even a plastic bag in the top. And I'd put that in the top of my pack. It would be for 1 to 2 people for 2 to 3 days. Backpackers typically carry their own tiny first aid kit. I don't want to talk through commercial first aid kits because I believe in making my own custom first aid kit for every trip, for every individual occasion. Well, thanks a lot. This has been Brian Wofford with Hot Drink.